Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how you can create this app on Flutter, like how you can create 3D models and navigate it like this or through buttons with the proper animations. So first of all we are going to create the avatar of ourselves using a picture using an AI model. Then we are going to create this app on Flutter. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so first of all, to create your 3D avatar, you need to go on this website, which is readyplayer.me. Okay, and here you can create your avatar. You can create a new avatar like for using your pictures, or what you can do is you can simply uh, pick and drop everything like you do over here, or you can just simply create a avatar using the picture, right? So I have already created one, so I will not create again. Okay, so this is my avatar. You can download your glb file. Glb file is actually the 3D file which we use, uh, which we will be using in our app, and that is because glb file contains all the 3D models and everything. All the 3D models basically are on glb file only. So we can download the glb file, or we can directly copy the glb url. Okay, so we'll come here back after we start the app. Okay, when we are going to need it. Okay, so first of all let me close this app and create a new one. Okay, okay, so we'll create a new Flutter project. Okay, so I'm going to create this project. Okay, remove all of these because this is not needed at all. Okay, so we have called our stateless widget from the main.dart file, and we are going to add our code over here. Okay, so to add our code, what we need is we need a library in which we can use a 3D model. Okay, you can find this library on pub.dev easily. This is the library name is O3D. Okay, so we can directly install this by copying the dependency, right? So I'm just simply going to paste the dependency over here and run pub.get. Okay, so after that let us create an app bar which will have a title saying my 3D avatar. Okay, so now over here I will simply place a body. Inside a body I will simply add O3D. Okay, now we have to give a source over there. Okay, so we can also add assets, right? We can also add the direct URL. So as I had the proper URL, I'll directly go to my readyplayer.me and I will copy my avatar URL. Okay, glb URL. After copying that, simply I'm going to paste it over here, right? So I think this is done and we can run the app now. Okay, so to run the app, okay, so I will be using a terminal to run, right? Now we'll just simply wait till our app is building. So our app is basically started and it has also loaded our avatar. Okay, so now what we have to do is now we have to learn about how we can set the camera angles, for example camera target and the camera orbit, so that we can animate this 3D model according to our button clicks. Okay, so currently it is free flowing. We can simply control the 3D model from our controls from touching the screen, right? So now what I want is I want to disable this camera initially. Okay, so to do that simply I will use a camera control flag and set it as false. Okay, right? So after doing that, first of all I need to add buttons. So I want to add that buttons on the top of the 3D model. So what I'll do is I will add a stack on the top, right? So after adding the stack, I will simply add a row. Okay, in that row I will have 3 childrens and that will be floating action button, right? For the uh, icon I will use icons dot swipe left something. Yeah, I will use this swipe left rounded, right? Now I will replicate these widget 3 times. Okay. For here I will use center, and here swipe right, rounded. Okay, so let us see. So that is visible on the top. I want that to be at the bottom, so I will use the stack alignment and set it as bottom center, right? So as you can see we have got our items on the bottom center, but it is going in outside the safe area, like, so I want that to be inside the safe area. So I will wrap a widget called safe area, right? But that is also not centered. I also want the buttons to be centered. So what I'll do is I will add a main axis alignment in the row, main axis alignment dot center, right? So our buttons are in center. Now what I want to do is I want to give spacing, a bit spacing between the buttons. So I will add a sized box between all of the buttons, let us take the size box to be 10 or width to be 10, right? So as you can see, okay, so now we have to implement the click functionality so that our avatar should move. As you can see now, it is not moving when we are you can say touching the screen, right? Because we have set the camera controls as false. Okay, so first of all we'll convert it into a stateful widget, then we'll create a model o3 3D controller, sorry, controller, I said model. Name is that controller o3D controller, right? So I will initialize that controller with the controller, remove the constant. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to set a the camera. When we click swipe left, it should move our character to left. Okay, so to do that, simply I will create a camera target, right? Controller dot camera target, right? We have two options, camera target and camera orbit. First we will create a camera orbit. This function takes three variables, one is theta, pi and radius, right? So if we, for example, let's say initially take us 20,000 and let us see what happens over there, right? So as soon as I refresh and click on the left button, so 000 is taking us there, right? The camera orbit. So we can try, let us say take the first theta as 90. So what will happen is it has moved our character to the 90-degree, like from to moving to the left side. That what we needed, right? When we click left, it should move to left. But the thing is, the camera angle is in not the proper position, right? But it is, the character is facing towards the left. Okay, so we'll also try something else. So basically I want it, the camera to be at the center, so I will use a 75-degree for the pi, and let us see what happens. Okay, so now when I use 75-degree for a pi, so it is focusing exactly at the state point, right? Now what I want is I want to zoom out a bit. Okay, so for that we will use the radius key, and for example let us take 30, right? So now what will happen is it has zoomed out my character. Okay, so now let us take 70 on that. I want it a more zoomed out. Okay, so I think this is the max, but let us take 70. I think is pretty good. Okay, now I'll do the same. I'll copy this, I will add it in the right position. Okay, now what I want to do is I will replace it by -90. Now let us see what happens. So I think that should move it from the right side. Okay, so it has moved to the right, now it has moved to the left. Okay, so this is animation is working properly. Okay, so on the left, for the right we are using -90 in the theta value, and for the left we are using 90. Okay, if you like, for example, if you want to like fully move the character, we can use 360 or 180, and we can try multiple options, and according to that our character will move, right? So for I need for a center position, so I'll copy again, and on the click of the center button, what I'll do is I will add 0, and let us see what happens. In 0, our camera is facing, or like our character is facing towards the towards the camera, which means 0, right? So so this is working properly. As you can see, we can move our character, right? Okay, so this is for the camera orbit, like uh, how your character should be faced, or like, for example, you can say how your camera is facing, right? So this is working. Now what I want to do is I want to add a zoom. Okay, for a zoom, for example, to get a close up of the character. To do that, simply I will do is I will wrap the row inside a column, and there I will create again a floating action button and icon, and I'll give a child. Zoom. Okay, I will give a size box so that there should be some space between that, right? So now it has taken buttons to the top that I don't need it. So inside the column I will use main axis alignment, main axis alignment dot end, and we have our icons at the end, right? So now to zoom, what I want is first of all I want the character to be at the center position, right? So I will copy the camera orbit of the center and paste it over there, right? So whenever I click on the zoom button, it is taking me to the center position, but what I want is I want to focus on the character, right? So for that, what I'll do is I will use the camera target, right? So when I use the camera target, let us try some camera target. So we have three options over here, X, Y and Z, right? So that is the camera, like where is the camera targeting. Okay, so first of all, the values are pretty small in XYZ. Okay, we don't have to go value to too high values. Okay, so first let us take 0 0 and 0 and check what is happening, what is the basic position, right? So this is on the clicking of the zoom in button, right? So as soon as I zoom, so it is focusing towards the you can say legs. Okay, so I will try and add some of the let us add 1.1 on the Y position, and it is taking me over there, like in the center. Some let us add something in the Z position. Okay, let us add one over there. So it is zooming out. Let us try -1. So it is zooming me in, right? That's what we wanted. So I want it to zoom to 3. That is a bit too much. Let us make it 2. Okay, I think this is better, or what we can do is we can take this to -2.1, I guess 2.2. Let us see. The thing is, it should look good, right? Okay, I think this is perfect, but I think the character is a bit too low. I want to make it a bit up on the upper side, right? So to do that, I will use 0. I think 8. I think it will push a character a bit up. It is too up. Let us get 9.95. This is perfect, right? So now you can zoom, and when I zoom out, see nothing is happening, and it is uh, has when, for example, when we start the app from the starting, we can do left right, but when we have zoomed in, it is not taking us to the previous zoom states, right? For example, if I click left, right and center, now it is working properly because we were changing the camera orbit. But as soon as I zoom, right, uh, the left and right stops working because it is zoomed so much. So if we are clicking left, so it is taking me to the white space, and I don't want that to be happen. So what I'll do is I will add the camera target to every positions, right? And what I'll do is I will set those positions as uh, 1 1, and zoom should be 0 because I don't want it to be zoomed, right? So I have added that in the left rounded left icon. Okay, so let me check left, right. So now it has also set the camera target as soon as we hit right. Okay, but the right is not working because we haven't added the target to the right, so we'll also add the target to right. Okay, so for the right we'll have to do some more changes because for the right I think we'll have to add -1 for the theta because we were minus at minus 90 degrees. Okay, so now it is working perfectly fine, but still the center is not working properly. We have to also set the camera target for the center as well, right? And for the center we are going to use 0 over here because we are facing at the 90-degree angle, right? And let us check on refreshing center. Okay, so center is working perfectly fine, but the corrector is a way too down. So to bring it more upwards, let us make -1. Okay, -1 is a little bit higher, 9. And then this is perfect now, or 8, 7. Okay, so now all the things are working perfectly because we have set the camera target and the camera orbit for all the items, right? So now I'm not able to, like for example, control the character from my touches. Okay, so I also want to add a button from where I can control enable the movement of the camera, or the from the user input, right? So I have created another button. I'll use a 3D icon over there, 3D rotation. Okay, and over here what I'll set is I'll set controller dot camera controls to be true, right? And I'll use that. Now if I press the 3D button, now I am able to change the uh, position from my input, right? So, and when I press this button, it will automatically take me to that particular position we wanted. Okay, so using this you can create your any type of character, right? And creating character of your own and add that into your app. You can add that in your profile section, and this can be really helpful if you want to work with the 3D models in your app, right? So this is pretty basic, and uh, hope you liked it. Yeah, and thank you for watching.